Alright, main topic time. Today, we will be speculating on how will Niantic release the rest of the Gen 3 Pokemon.
Yes. If you remember before on all the news outlets that have reported on Pokemon Go's release of Gen 3, TechCrunch said this.
Mm-hmm.
Niantic isn't dropping everything at once this time around. They'll be rolling them over time instead. I'm told they're currently planning on having future Gen 3 Pokemon released in themed groups. More Gen 3 Fire Pokemon 1 week, more Gen 3 Grass Pokemon another, etc. So I analyzed the list of Gen 3 Pokemon that are released right now and the Pokemon that are still unreleased, excluding the legendaries. So here's what I found out.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, they released all of the electric types, the fighting types, the poison types, and the fairy types of Gen 3.
The minority Pokemon.
Yes, the minority among the types. Because on before Gen 6 and Gen 7, Gen 3 has the least number of electric types. They have released all of the 4 electric types, which is Manectric, Electrike, Tossel, and Minun.
Mm-hmm.
They also released all of the fighting types, which is Meditype Medicham, Makuhita Hariyama, and Breloom. And also they released Blaziken, but
that's a starter Pokemon. It should be included.
It shouldn't be included. They also released all the fairy types. And if you really don't count the Gen 3 starters, they didn't release any of all of the fire types, the rock types, the ground types, the water types, and the flying types, excluding Beautyfly.
And then the dragon types.
Yes, besides that, they didn't release the dragon types and the ice types.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that say? They released a bunch of those main types. They didn't release any of those main types. And those types, amongst themselves, make a pattern.
A very neat pattern.
Yes, so here is the theory.
It's speculation.
Gen 3, the next Gen 3 releases would be in groups that are patterned with the main legendary Pokemon of Gen 3.
So it would be like Groudon,
yes,
with the ground and fire types.
Yes. No, ground and fire types.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same.
Anyway,
same thing. And then Kyogre with the water and ice types, and then Rayquaza with the flying dragon and the good ones type. The good ones.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, because let's analyze everything that has not been released and how will we group it. Let's see. So they would be the remaining types that are suited for Groudon are the fire, rock, and ground types.
Mm-hmm. Pokemon like Nosepass,
yes,
Aeron, Numel, Camerupt, Torkoal, Lunatone, Solrock, Baltoy and Claydol, Anorith, Lilith.
They're all their respective evolutions.
Yeah, and it's corresponding to Groudon's type, which is fire and ground.
Yes, and other than that, you can also add Spinda because Spinda can be found in Mount Chimney, near Mount Chimney, I mean, which is a mountainous region, a volcanic region, I mean, and you can only found Spinda on that place in the Hoenn region. So Spinda might be added to that. Cacnea and Cacturne can also be added on Groudon side because they are desert dwellers. They are found in the desert. Even though they're pure grass types, they can be added there because of their immunity to sandstorm. On the other hand, this is the easiest type to categorize the water types and possibly ice types because you can't add ice types on Groudon and Rayquaza.
Yep.
I mean, why? If they don't want them to be added on the other groups, they should have released it earlier on the first one but they didn't, so it would be added on Kyogre. The water types and the ice types are possibly added on the Kyogre group.
So Pokemon like Lotad, Wingull, Pelipper, Carvana, Sharpedo, Wailmer, Wailord, Corphish, Crawdon, Snorunt, Glalie, Spheal, Clamperl, Relicanth, and Luvdisc.
And all of their evolutions that we haven't mentioned because there are so many.
Yeah.
All of them are possibly added on Kyogre side. On Rayquaza, on the other hand, is a bit tricky because there are just a few flying types remaining and a few dragon types remaining.
For me, just the rest of like put all of these Pokemon, all of the Pokemon that haven't been mentioned yet, like say Swellow, Swablu, Tropius, Bagon.
Tailo, Swellow are flying types.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
They're just the rest of the Pokemon that hasn't been mentioned, that hasn't been grouped.
Yes, that's flying and dragon
with
types.
Rayquaza.
Yes.
Rayquaza.
No, not really, because as I group it, the first one I mentioned are the flying and dragon types. They should be added.
They should be
added
with Rayquaza. Yeah.
Yes, and you can also add Chimecho on that. I mean, let me just mention everything. Tailo, Swellow, Swablu, Altaria, Tropius, and Bagon in its evolutions. And you can also add Chimecho to that because it's a chime. And
is it Chimecho?
Chimecho.
Okay.
It's Chimecho.
Okay.
It's chime and echo.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
It's how they pronounce in the anime.
Okay.
Chimecho is also possibly added to Rayquaza because Psychic type, which is boosted on windy conditions.
And windy is connected to
dragon
Rayquaza.
and flying types.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a good addition. Lastly, cast form.
Oh, okay.
Cast form will be added on Rayquaza side because Rayquaza can null the weather.
Mm-hmm.
Cast form is weather related. So cast form should not be either on Groudon on Kyogre side. Mm-hmm. If anything, he should be on Rayquaza side. Mm-hmm. There are also many Pokemon that are suited to multiple groups, but let's just suit them to the more appropriate group.
Okay.
Let's start with Trapinch and its evolutions. Trapinch is ground and dragon.
Mm-hmm. So it could be with Rayquaza or with Groudon.
Yes, but I speculated that it would be more likely to be added on Groudon.
Yeah, side. Groudon. Yeah, I'd put it on Groudon too.
But people can find the case for adding them on Groudon side because it's dragon.
Yeah,
I
think Niantic would base it on the starter Pokemon, like which type is the starter Pokemon. Like, okay, so Trapinch is a ground type, so let's put him on Groudon.
Okay,
that's what I'm thinking because they're not gonna base it on the final evolution.
Yeah,
they would base it on the first evolution.
No, I think that's the opposite of what I said that on the other Pokemon. But you have a point on Trapinch.
Yeah.
So it might
on
be
Trapinch. I'm talking about Trapinch.
On Trapinch.
Not on
the other Pokemon.
But on Trapinch.
On Trapinch itself. You have a good point there. But people can also say that it will be added on Rayquaza. I'm not saying they're wrong. It's a possibility. Mm-hmm. Also, Barboach and Wishcash. This is the one that's been boggling me.
Yeah, but I think this easily on Kyogre sides because they're fish.
Yes.
Basically, they're just fish. That's it.
Yeah, and
they don't mind their typing. They're fish.
Yeah, exactly. That's the reason why I added it on Kyogre side. Because you have read that outline.
It should be a no-brainer.
Do you agree on everything on my judgment on the other Pokemon?
No, I'm good. Let's see. Phoebus and Milotic.
Phoebus and Milotic would be on the Kyogre side, but because of their dragonic nature, they can be added on Rayquaza side. But
yeah, basically, but again, starter Pokemon, it's a fish, Kyogre.
Yes, because you're saying the starting Pokemon. How would you group Surskit?
Surskit is a water type.
Surskit is a water bug type, while Masquerain is a bug flying type. I personally
I was still going back to the starter Pokemon. Like, what's it? Like, so water and bug type. In the rain, there's more water types and there's more what bug types. So it's both. So Kyogre. Ha! Simple.
Yeah. Also, I have to disagree with you on that because, as I've said before, though you have a point,
Mm-hmm.
Masquerain, which is a which is a bug flying type,
Mm-hmm.
because that is the last evolution. The opposite of your argument. Because it's a flying type, I personally wanted to add on
Rayquaza group.
the Rayquaza group because you don't Masquerain is not really water like.
Yeah, but Sanskrit is.
But on unlike the case for both for Trapinch, which is it retains the ground typeness in the until the last evolution.
I guess.
Masquerain loses the water type.
Yeah.
And it's more on the flying side. But you can also make a point for yourself because Masquerain is the only bug flying type that can learn water type moves.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still related to water in any way. So both of us can be right anyway.
Or both of us can be wrong.
Yes.
Who knows? This is theory.
Okay. This is the second one that's also a problem that it will lose the main type is Nincada.
Yeah.
Nincada is a bug ground, while Ninjas is a bug flying.
Bug ground.
I
Bug
added
flying.
it on Rayquaza side.
Yeah, I think you should put in on Rayquaza's side just because there is not much Pokemon on Rayquaza's side.
Yeah, that's the reason. Also, that's the reason
only
that I
reason
added
I
it
can
on
think of.
Masquerain.
Let's just make it even, you know?
Yeah, finally, there are, of course, there are many At least there are a few Pokemon that does not fit on any of the groups. Just check the time. Whismer. Whismer, I added it on Groudon side because it's a land-based animal Pokemon, I mean. But you can also make a case that it could be on Rayquaza side because it's sound-based. Sound, wind.
Yeah, I guess. But I think,
Growl.
I think it's more of the land-based thing.
Yeah, so you agree with me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Volbeat and Illumise are not flying types. They're only smart bug types. But I added it on which way? Oh no, I added it on the Rayquaza side, though they're not flying types because they can fly.
Mm-hmm.
And you can possibly say that they don't fit the Groudon because they would get burned with fire.
Mm-hmm.
That's just Volbeat and Illumise are difficult to group. And also Kecleon. Kecleon is the one of the most difficult ones.
Yeah, I think it is a no-brainer.
Same reason for Whismer.
Kecleon, land-based type, Groudon. That's it.
Yeah, that's the same reason.
The simplest thing that you can think of, that's it. That's probably it.
Finally, Beldum and its evolutions.
Yeah, Beldum, just put it on the Rayquaza side.
I actually think before that they would add it on the
Groudon
side.
Look. The reason why I put it on Rayquaza side is because to balance everything out. Like there are good ones like Trapinch and on the Groudon group, and then on Kyogre group we have a Wailord, I guess.
No.
Milotic.
Yes, Milotic.
Yeah.
Actually, I have
Relicanth is a good one, and then since Rayquaza. Just
I'm actually added Beldum on that group because do you know the term pseudo legendary?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, Bagon and Beldum are pseudo legendary evolutions.
Mm-hmm.
If I add Beldum on the Groudon group, there would be no balance on Groudon and Kyogre.
I think maybe one of these Pokemon would be on Kyogre side, just to balance it out and put a pseudo legendary on Kyogre's group. There's
if they add Kyogre, if they add a pseudo legendary on Kyogre's group, which one would it be, Bagon or Beldum?
Probably either.
Yes,
either.
I think both of them also fit on
maybe
those.
They would group it by color, but they're both water-colored, I guess.
Beldum, you can make a case because ice and steel are being powered up on ice.
Yeah, either.
Bagon can because dragons are also in with the water, and Bagon on Groudon side because dragons spout fire. Beldum because steel is hardened on the by magma or stuff like that.
I don't know. Anyway, just to sum this all up, the rest of the Gen 3 Pokemon would be released along with a specific legendary.
Yes.
So
I said pattern,
yeah,
but I didn't mention this specifically that when they release the Groudon group, for example, they would also release the legendary Pokemon as a raid boss.
So when let's say when the Groudon's group is released, let's say Nosepass are the ground types would be released, Groudon would become a raid boss at a specific, like say, 2 weeks time.
And that also coincides with what we've talked earlier off air.
Mhm.
We Judd is contemplating on whether to stop go out early because he needs to get a better Ho-Oh
Mhm.
because it's the last day of Ho-Oh. Then I realized after Ho-Oh, which one's next?
No,
Legendary.
It could be they would bring back all of the legendaries, and then by the start of January, the rest of Gen 3 will be released. If they're still trying to hold everything out.
I think they would release Groudon. Honestly, because they shown Groudon on the trailer.
Yeah, true.
I think they'll release Groudon.
I think the rest of the Gen 3 would be released along with Groudon, and then maybe after some time, let's say 2 to 3 weeks, Kyogre's group would arrive along with the water types, and then in the next week, maybe in another 2 to 3 weeks, Rayquaza as a raid boss, and then his group will be released.
Actually, they can also do a case that the globe will be divided again.
Oh, please no! Stop doing that! No!
Not region exclusive though.
Yeah, but still, no!
But like Suicune and Suicune Reiko and Entei's release.
I mean, I guess, but no. Anyway, let's wrap this up. I only have 2 minutes left on my GoPro. So again, Pokemon will be released by groups according to their type, according to the legendary. So Groudon with the fire and ground types, Kyogre with the water types and ice types, Rayquaza with the flying and dragon types.
Yes, and other than that, we should remind you that we have a competition, a giveaway. I mean. If you watch the earlier episode, you already know about that.
Yep,
but the links are in the description down below for the giveaway.
Yeah, and
other than
the
that,
links are in the description down below for Isma's article. He has this chart and everything, so you can see the groupings.
I'm going to try to post it on Pokemon Go Hub. If they did approve it, I'll just post the links in the description. And
I'll post it on Reddit so people would know. This is a very compelling theory. I stand by against it. He stands by against it.
Yes.
And if we're wrong, we're gonna do something awesome. I don't know.
Yes. Anyway,
comment down below if your suggestion.
Yes. Suggest your groups down below.
Yeah.
How would you group it? This has been Silph.
What would we do? And what would we do if we're wrong?
Yeah. Anyway, this has been Silph.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye.